Okay, we have another 1,500-point battle report for you. Necrons versus Chaos Space Marines, Plague Marines to be exact. There's a Nurgle drone. Look how awesome that thing looks. It's about half painted, pretty sweet looking. 2 squads of 2 Obliterators, deep striking in. 7 Plague Marines in here. 7 Plague Marines somewhere back there. 7 more there. Cultists inside that real bastion. My opponent bought the bastion. He's using it. Pretty awesome. I've got 2 squads, well, 1 squad of Warriors, 1 squad of Immortals, Heavy Destroyers, 2 of these Annihilation Barges, Praetorians with my Campaign Warlord. It is a campaign game. 6 Wraiths. I've got a Doom Scythe flying on, and I am playing with an extra 125 points because of various bonuses that I've accumulated in the campaign, one of which being that my team is losing, so we actually get bonus points in games. But we got 2 objectives we're fighting over. One over here, one little ammo dump thing right next to him over there, and I will be going first unless my opponent wants to try to steal initiative.
Sure.
You want to try to steal on a 6? Here we go.
I've got a +1 to steal the initiative because of Starport.
Okay, right. You got a Starport in the campaign. So 5 up to steal the initiative. No, it's
That's a 6.
What is that?
That is a 6.
Why do you have a weird dice? I hate these weird dice. I never understand what they do. All right, you got a 6. So you stole initiative.
Organizer.
Okay, so the initiative was stolen on a 6, fair and square, and looks like I'm going second. Okay, rounding up top of turn 1 of this stolen initiative by the Plague Marines. Moved up, popped smoke over here. Moved up, popped smoke over here. Hail of fire first from the cultist with the heavy bolters into here. Put 3 wounds into my Wraiths, but they made all their saves, so good saves on the Wraiths there. Then we had a bunch of 2 las cannons and 1 crack missile, but only blew away one of my guys. He was standing here. He did not reanimate, so 1 Praetorian goes bye-bye instantly. The pain begins. Now it is our bottom of turn 1 coming up, and we got to make something happen here. Okay, so rounding up bottom of turn 1 for the Necrons. We were able to achieve first blood. I fired these guys. About 2/3 of them were in rapid fire range there, but I couldn't get a single glance. So instead, I just fired the big boy over here, sodded that thing, wrecked it, didn't explode it. Those guys popped out. And then the Immortals got pretty lucky. Got only 1 shot each, but I somehow managed to blow away 2 of the Plague Marines. So pretty lucky there. Over here, these guys, 3 pistols were in range to try to hurt that. Couldn't do much to it though. Actually, they did blow off a weapon, but then this thing fired, got so many hits, 10 hits, 3 6s, and a bunch of like 1 more hit. Managed to explode it actually, so killed 1 guy in the explosion. Just really lucky there. That doesn't usually happen. These guys, I moved them to fire on that bastion, but in my stupidity, I actually moved this guy too far out. So there's only 2 shots over there, 2 hits, but couldn't get through the 14 armor there. And these guys moved up, and then I shifted them 3 inches. I ran them this way afterwards, just when I realized that they could try to go for that. That was that. We're going to see if my opponent's stuff comes on the board. You want to roll for your reserves?
Yeah, sure.
So what's going to be first?
Okay, so let's start with the Blight Drone.
Double light drone.
Blight Drone
He's on the board. All right. And then the 2 units of...
Obliterators, number the first.
First Obliterator unit, not yet, with a 1, and the second Obliterator unit. They're on. So 1 Obliterator unit, 1 Blight Drone coming on the board, ready to cause me pain. Back in, so rounding up top of turn 2 for the Plague Marines. Blight Drone flew on over here and blasted into here, trying to nuke these guys with a Strength 8 AP3 large blast. Drifted a bit though, only hit 2 guys, and I made both my saves, thank goodness, because that would have instantly killed me. These guys moved over here, gunned into this unit, gunned down 2 out of my 10 guys, and I did not reanimate either of them, but I didn't have to make a morale save yet. Over here, shooting from a bunch of stuff, killed 2 guys, including plasma cannons, which these guys dropped in over here. Luckily, they drifted around a lot. They killed 2 of my guys, and again, nothing reanimated, so I've already lost 3 Praetorians with no reanimation successes. So be it, though. Some other shooting into these guys blew away 1 of my Wraiths from a variety of shooting, and that was it. So we're going to see if my Doom Scythe shows up on a 3+. It does, on a 6. So the Doom Scythe is on the board. We're going to have to put it to use. There's a lot of threats I got to deal with. There's threats over here, threats over there. Pretty interesting. Back in a bit. Okay, so let's round up this top of turn 2. Pretty disastrous turn of events in some ways, good in some other ways. Over here, this guy got a bunch of hits on his guy, but I just couldn't penetrate him very well. I did stun him and take off 1 hull point, so that's helpful. Over here, a bunch of shooting, only killed these guys down to 3, and then we are charging them, so that should go well. Over here, just disaster of disasters. This thing came on here, rolled a 1, of course, to wound one of these guys. The other guy made his save, so no insta-kills there. All of these guns that fired in there couldn't force any failed saves. These guys finally fired in. They finally fired in, and they got a failed save. So I got 2, I actually forced 2 AP2 saves with these guys, but he made one of his 5+. Annoying. Over here, these guys decided to charge. He, with lucky hits on all of his plasmas and things, he gunned down my front line of guys, and then despite having my jetpacks ready to go, with reroll, I still only got 4 inches even after reroll, so I actually wasn't able to charge him. What a disaster. What a total disaster, but so be it. We gotta keep fighting. Wow, so it's a pretty tough battle at this point. Really tough. Couldn't touch anything here. Couldn't make the easiest of charges there, but at least we're going to try to hurt these guys. So we're coming back in a bit. Okay, so the fiasco continues for both sides in this case. Neither side was able to get a single wound to stick. We just whiffed all of our attacks on both sides here. So that's just terrible. This is a total disaster, though. This is the difference between wiping out that unit and blowing that up next turn, or just getting gunned down. Wow. Unbelievable. Okay, rounding up top of turn 3, pretty interesting turn. That second squad of Obliterators still did not show up yet, so that's a small mercy. These guys over here, combined with shooting from there and shooting from that entire building, gunned this unit down to just one Praetorian and my Lord, but then 3 guys reanimated, thank goodness. They tried to charge, but they needed about 7 or 8 inches. They only got rolled a 5, so that I mean, yeah, normally that'd be suicide, but at this point he's thinned me out so well, that probably might have actually been effective, who knows. Over here, Gong Show Combat, my guy's completely screwed up. 3 wounds failed, not even from the Power Fist, so I lost 1 guy. Sorry, 2 wounds failed, partly, total. And we just couldn't cause a single correct save. We keep getting Rens and they keep rolling their 5+. Man, pretty rough over there. This guy here tried to snapshot into my flyer, but couldn't quite do very much. And eventually, what happened is some guys, I forget what, but something else fired into here.
Flak rockets.
Flak rockets, yeah, from those guys. Flak rockets got in. I decided not to evade, and they only got 1 glance on me, thank goodness. So just 1 glance, and I'm still ticking it. So it is on to bottom of turn 3. Okay, so rounding up this bottom of turn 3, what happened here? We finally gunned that thing down. Just for fun, I tried to fire the rapid fire shots from these 2 units, but no luck. Couldn't get a single glance on 6s. So eventually this guy had to take him down. Zotted him. He crashed. He actually crashed into this building here, clipped my guy, but it was only strength 6 explosion, so it didn't do too much. Over here, with the combination of this guy blew away one of those dudes, and then these guys got three 5+ saves on this guy, but he made 2 of them, this lone bastard, still alive with 1 wound left. Over here, I flew this guy into here, made a line through the building, hit the building, didn't just glanced the building, caused 1 wound on the guy inside, but 1 guy died. Didn't kill this guy, rolled a 1. Put 1 wound into the gun, and then the other guy made his the other guy made his 3+ cover because he's inside a fortification. And after that, I fired my secondary gun at the gun. I tried to blow away that Icarus cannon, and I did. It did not leap to the guys near him, but it did blow away the cannon. Over here, we were starting a combat. We finally managed to make it into combat because I just walked up and used my jetpacks. I was within 2 inches, no way to fail there. And we're going to Hammer of Wrath in a second. Over here, combat continues. And that is going to be it. So we're on to that was the bottom of turn 4 or turn 3. That was turn 3, yeah. Bottom of turn 3. So how those combats go over here? I can't believe it. I caused 6 wounds and a rend, and all that happened was his Lord took a wound. Oh my God! I just cannot get him to fail saves, and he actually managed to insta-kill one of my Wraiths with his Power Fist. So pretty good for him there. Over here, we beat these guys up pretty badly in the challenge. Okay, despite me putting a Hammer of Wrath wound, he survived it. He mind shackled himself. But otherwise, yeah, and survived the mind shackles from being beat on, and we did kill 2 guys though, so that was helpful over there, and that is it. Okay, so rounding up this top of turn 4, these 5+ are still killing me. So many 5+, Rens and AP1 hits, and he made all of them, made every save. My goodness, and then a bunch of other armor saves, but he made them all as well. No wounds in return on me though, that stuck. Just crazy. He passed, of course, his mind shackles there. What are you going to do, right? Over here, of course, yet again, I forced a bunch of... I had some Rens, some other stuff. He makes all of his 5+, made all the saves, put 1 wound on 1 guy. Fearless, though, so we stick it out. Over here, he tried to fire a shot over here, immobilized me, took down my shield, and down to 2 hull points now. That 1 guy that should have been dead long ago, so be it, eh? And some shooting over here from flak missiles, but they got to strip 1 more hull point off me. So I'm almost dead, but I'm trying my best there, flying along. And so be it. So back with the bottom of turn 4. So bottom of turn 4, what happened? Finally, my opponent's invulnerable saves and regular saves started failing him. These guys rapid fired with these guys, with this gun, with this thing. saying, and that's how good his saves were. It forced me, including actually these guys. Basically, this entire side of stuff had to fire those obliterators. That's what it took to kill those 2 obliterators. Craziness, but we finally got him. This guy didn't move, he was immobilized, so we fired everything he could over here, blew away the last wound off of that obliterator happily. Over here we finally killed 2 of his guys. They killed 1 of ours in return, but he stood up after the battle, so this is pretty lucky for us, because then he would have been able to shoot us on his turn, so that was pretty lucky there. Over here my Wraiths finally had a good round of combat. They killed all the guys on the side, and the Lord didn't manage to kill anybody in return, so we're going to be swarming the Lord next round. And that is about it. Is on to top of turn 5 coming up for Chaos. Okay, so rounding up this top of turn 5. So we actually managed to put another wound into him that he couldn't get past, and he couldn't hurt any of us. So that's looking pretty good. He's down to 1 wound, that Lord there. Only shooting happened was flak missiles into here, but my flyer actually had a 4+ cover from there. So there was 1 glancing hit that made it through, but I made my 4+ cover, thank goodness. Over here, disaster, as this guy passes Mind Shackles, of course doesn't wound me, but then my Lord puts 2 Strength 7 AP1 wounds into him, and he passes both of them with his Feel No Pain. What a nightmare, and then my guys flub their attacks, 1 wound into him, which of course he saves with his normal armor. What a total disaster, but so be it. And I think that was pretty much it, so it's on to my bottom of turn 5. They were supposed to go there and contest that objective. But because of this nonsense, that's not going to happen. So what are you going to do? Okay, so bottom of turn 5, what happened? We finally killed this guy in combat. We only consolidated 1 inch though, so if the game continues, he's going to start gunning into me there. Over here, we finally killed the Warlord. That was really helpful. Consolidated 4 inches away. This guy went up 12 inches and just fired on 6s, but with Twin Link couldn't even get a single hit. I think he only saw like 1 or 2 guys though anyway, so it wouldn't have killed very much. These guys came into here. 1 of them died from dangerous terrain, stood up after passing a leadership in the shooting phase. They fired against the building, but couldn't hit it even. And we're going to see if the game ends. Oh, the flyer flew off the board. Seeing if the game ends on a 1 or 2. No, game continues. Man, I gotta go put money on my parking meter. Rounding up this top of turn 6. Some shooting in here, gunned down my 2 of these guys in front, but and my Lord took a las cannon wound and 2 crack missiles. Passed the crack missiles, failed the cover from the las cannon because they're an area terrain. But these 2 guys both reanimated, so that's a huge turn of events there. Other than that, there wasn't much else going on. All the shooting went into this unit. That's all they could do. Bottom of turn 6 coming up. Okay, so we just ended the game here at the bottom of turn 6 before rolling because I fired a ton of stuff at that unit of guys back there. They ran off the board. I beamed through this thing because my flyer came back on. Killed a couple of guys up there. They ran off the board though, so my opponent can't possibly own that objective anymore. So he's just GG'd right there. But what else did I do? That was pretty much it. Just fired a bunch of stuff. These guys fired at the building again, penetrated it once, had a partial collapse, hurt some of the guys inside there, so it's down to 1 health point. But that was it. Good game, man. It was pretty close for most of the game there. Those saves are pretty awesome, but I managed to pull it out in the end. And so that was that.